Renegade Immortal, Chapter 633, Bumpkin. Hello, welcome back to my channel, Books with AR. Of the four, one of the women had her hair in a bun, and two strands fell down near her ears, like a willow. There was some crystal glitter between her eyebrows, and her pretty, sunflower seed face was as smooth as jade. Although her beauty wasn't peerless, it was enough to eclipse the moon. She looked like she was in her 20s, but the hint of intelligence in her eyes revealed a maturity far above the age of her appearance. She was wearing a white dress, and although it wasn't a tight fit, it still revealed her curves and was very alluring. Cultivators are good at halting their physical aging, and the higher one's cultivation level, the longer one can live. Just judging from appearance, it was very difficult to see someone's actual age. Compared to this woman, the other woman seemed a little ordinary. Her long hair draped over her shoulder made her look very weak. Her slender body made it look like she would be blown away by a breeze. She wore pink, which, in contrast, made her face look extremely pale. Compared to the bright woman, she looked less stunning, but seemed more tender. There was a young man wearing a red robe beside the two women. He gently said, "My two junior apprentice sisters, this place is the Cloud Sea Mountains of the Water Demon country. Back then I accidentally found this place and lingered here for a while. Although my senior apprentice brother hasn't gone to the celestial realm, I believe this Cloud Sea is one level above the celestial realm. Brother Marang, what do you think?" This youth looked quite handsome. There was also a sense of pride, as if he was a favored son of the heavens. Another man, wearing black, coldly said, "Satisfactory." His expression was grim as he closed his eyes and stopped speaking. The red-robed youth smiled. He had grown accustomed to the other man's brief way of speaking. "I believe senior apprentice brother didn't stay here for the Cloud Sea." The stunning woman tightened her lips and smiled. The red-robed youth smiled. "I won't lie to you, junior apprentice Sister Zhao. When I was at the Cloud Sea, I found a fissure on the ground. I'm afraid that is the entrance to the rumored Tide Abyss." The woman named Zhao's eyes were filled with longing. Just as she was about to continue speaking, the youth in black suddenly opened his eyes and looked into the distance. The youth in black's eyes lit up, and he said, "Very powerful." A ray of light appeared over the horizon and turned into a young man wearing white. This person's appearance was ordinary. There was nothing special about him. He floated in the air without even looking at the four people below him. He coldly looked at the clouds, then took a step. "It's him!" The red-robed man was shocked when he saw this person, and a hint of fear appeared in his eyes. He noticed that that person's cultivation had already reached the ascendant stage. His thoughts raced before he smiled and said, "Junior apprentice brother, please wait." The young man in white was Wang Lin. He stopped and turned around to look at the four of them. He didn't look at the two women or the red-robed youth first, but at the man in black instead. "For him to find me within 500 kilometers means his cultivation isn't weak. Judging from the celestial spiritual energy inside his body, he must be at the early stage of ascendant." Wang Lin's eyes were calm as he looked at them one by one. Before they landed on the red-robed man, he was somewhat familiar with this person. He was a disciple of the Heavenly Fate sect's Red Division. Among the four of them, aside from the man in black, the other three were all peak late-stage soul transformation cultivators. However, the man from the Red Division was obviously already half a step into the Ascendant stage and could reach it at any time. He probably feared the life and death trial when attempting to reach the Ascendant stage, so he had never taken that step. The red-robed man said, "Junior apprentice brother, my name is Du Jan." After pondering a bit, he realized that Wang Lin probably didn't know his name. Wang Lin clasped his hands. "Greetings, senior apprentice brother Du." Du Jan smiled as he pointed at the man in black and said, "Junior apprentice brother, this is the Ink sect's Marang Dro. As for these two, they are fellow cultivators from the Floating Cloud sect." The black-robed man, Murong Dro, carefully looked at Wang Lin before clasping his hands and said, "Fellow cultivator Wang, I'm the Ink sect's fourth-generation disciple, Murong Dro." After Murong Dro finished speaking, both Du Jan and the two women were shocked. The three of them had never seen Murong Dro speak more than 5 words in a sentence, so his identity of a loner had been deeply engraved into their hearts. Even when they met a cultivator at the mid-stage of Ascendant, this Murong Dro had never said so many words. In particular, his words focused on introducing himself. These three had all cultivated for a long time, and to be able to cultivate for this long, none of them were dumb. These simple words revealed the respect of a peer. The stunning woman named Zhao looked at Wang Lin with her beautiful eyes and smiled. "Senior apprentice brother Wang, this little one is Zhao Exuan, and this is my junior apprentice sister, Wu Fei." Wu Fei. This simple name caused Wang Lin to recall some memories. He couldn't help but look at the weak-looking woman. The woman bowed at Wang Lin and softly said, "Wu Fei greets senior apprentice brother Wang." Du Jian glanced at Wang Lin with a profound look and smiled. "Does junior apprentice brother Wang know junior apprentice sister Wu Fei?" Wang Lin shook his hands and said, "I don't know her. It's just that junior apprentice sister has the same name as a fellow sect member from my youth." Du Jan faintly smiled. He avoided this topic and said, "Junior apprentice brother, did you come here because of the tide abyss?" He didn't try to pretend or ask in a roundabout way. He was very straightforward. Wang Lin's expression was neutral, and he nodded and said, "Exactly." Du Jan's eyes narrowed, and he said, "Junior apprentice brother, the tide abyss is very dangerous. Even if you are at the ascendant stage, it will still be very difficult. The 4 of us are also going into the tide abyss. How about coming with us? At least we can help each other out." Wang Lin pondered for a bit. He knew of the dangers of the tide abyss. Before he came here, he used the crystal Beilu gave him to check the inside of the tide abyss. There were a few places that were risky to cross even with his current cultivation. If Murong Dro wasn't among the 4 of them, Wang Lin would have immediately refused. But with Murong Dro there, the situation was different. Although he was only at the early stage of Ascendant, to be able to detect Wang Lin 500 kilometers meant he must have some ability. Wang Lin faintly smiled and said, "That is for the best." Du Jan's face was filled with smiles, but he coldly snarled in his heart. It would be impossible for him not to be suspicious and jealous of Wang Lin for reaching the Ascendant stage in such a short period of time. He clearly remembered that when he saw Wang Lin back then, he was only a mid-stage of soul transformation. But in a short span of 100, Wang Lin had reached the early stage of Ascendant, and Wang Lin didn't look like someone who had just reached the Ascendant stage. He looked like someone who had taken the step into the Ascendant stage a while ago. There must be a reason why this bumpkin from a waste cultivation planet was able to increase his cultivation levels so fast. He was also able to make it through the life and death trial of reaching the Ascendant stage, so I'm afraid this matter is not simple. Also, if this person keeps developing like this, I'm afraid that when he leaves in 400 years, his position will be even higher. This means his purple division's position will immediately rise as well. There was malice in his heart, but he didn't reveal a sliver of it on his face. He had a gentle smile as if he was really acting like a kind senior apprentice brother. However, he was facing Wang Lin, who had experienced countless dangerous situations on Suzaku that many will never experience in their entire lives. Thanks to this, he had long since become extremely astute and wise. It was completely the opposite of what the image of a bumpkin was in Du Jian's heart. Du Jian's life experience was really negligible compared to Wang Lin's. The group of 5 didn't talk anymore and charged straight toward the Cloud Sea Mountains. Clouds filled the area, giving the illusions of mountains and seas. This site was extremely spectacular and, at the same time, contained a mysterious sense of beauty. Zhao Chen's beautiful eyes would occasionally look at Wang Lin before her. She was unable to see through this man before her. In the demon spirit land, she could even see through the hearts of those demon generals. In the past 100 years, there had only been 2.5 people she couldn't see through. Wang Lin's figure before her pierced through layers of clouds and became more blurry. Zhao Chen's eyes seemed to also be blocked by the clouds, and she couldn't see clearly. The first person she couldn't see through was the Daolu sword sect's Chen Long. There was a mist surrounding him. Whenever she tried to take a closer look, that mist would turn into a sword that prevented her intrusion. As for the other person, she could only somewhat see through was Murong Zhuo. Zhao Chen's gaze swept past Murong Zhuo. This Murong Zhuo would sometimes be transparent and clear, but other times he was like pitch-black water. The constant changes made it very difficult for her to see through his thoughts. The last person she couldn't see through was Wang Lin, who had suddenly appeared. In Zhao Chen's eyes, Wang Lin was even more mysterious. He didn't have the mist like Chen Long, or the constant change like Murong Zhuo. Instead, he was using his own strength to lock down his mind. He didn't need the mist or illusions. He just needed to close the door to his heart. Zhao Chen's eyes revealed a mysterious light, and just at this moment, Wang Lin suddenly turned around. He seemed to casually look at her before turning back. However, this gaze was like a sharp sword that directly pierced into Zhao Chen's mind. Is it a warning? This Wang Lin is very interesting. Even the Dalu sword sect's Chen Long only noticed me after I strengthened my spell. As for Murong Zhuo, he only managed to find traces of my spell. But this Wang Lin was immediately aware of something abnormal the moment I had the intention of making a move. Zhao Chen's eyes revealed a hint of interest, but that was soon hidden deep inside her heart. As Wang Lin flew, his eyes lit up and he revealed a cold smile. These four are very interesting. They each harbor their own schemes, and their spells are not weak. However, among these four, the one that should not be underestimated is the woman named Xu. She is constantly giving off a strange feeling. The five of them quickly passed through the clouds. Soon, a deep ravine appeared before them. This ravine was extremely wide. It was more than 100 feet wide. As for its length, it was more than 10,000 feet long, extending out of sight into the clouds. This ravine looked like a mouth hidden on the ground, but it also looked like it was created by a spell.